Hello and welcome everyone to another video on this channel. So in today's video we're going to do another past question on programming. And so today we're asked this question: suppose the following object definitions are in effect. Bool p is equal to true. That means p is a variable of the Boolean type with a value of true. We also have that bool q is equal to true. That means q is a variable that holds the value true. Similarly, arrow is a Boolean value that holds the value false. Then we have int I is equal to 2. That means I is an integer with a value of 2. Int j is equal to 3. That also means that j is an integer data with a value of 3. So we're asked this question: evaluate the following expressions. That means if we have these values to be given, p, q, and arrow are Boolean values, while I and j are integer values. So we are given to evaluate the following expressions. A is, we say I is not equal to 0 and j divided by I is greater than 6, right? That's the first one. So we're going to solve that. Then the B part is saying that j modulus I is equal to 0 or q and arrow. So that means that what is the logical AND of q and arrow. The third is p and q or not p and not q, right? The D part says p or q and not p or not q. Then the E part says p and q or r. So we're going to evaluate all of this together in this video and then actually also solve them to get the answers. So without much of that, let's just go into solving this right away. So let's go. So let's go for solution. So solution. So the solution. So what I have to do is, let me actually first of all write these things out. So p is equal to true. Then q is also equal to true. We also have that arrow is equal to false. We're just writing them out. We also have that I is equal to 2 while j is equal to 3. Okay, so that is about the data. So now let's go for the first one. So now let's evaluate the following expressions. So evaluating the expressions, evaluating the given expressions, evaluating the given expressions. So what do the A part? We have it as I is not equal to 0 and j divided by I is what? Greater than 6. Okay, so let's solve it now. So first I'm going to first of all evaluate this. What is I is not equal to 0? Okay, so let's evaluate. So step 1, let's evaluate. Step 1, evaluate the first parenthesis. That's this one. So evaluate the first parenthesis. Evaluate the first parenthesis. Okay, so we have that I is not equal to 0. And so what is I? I is given as 2. So we're saying that 2 is not equal to 0, right? And that is actually giving us a Boolean value of true. So that is, it is indeed true that 2 is not equal to 0. Okay, so we're going to have that this is actually true. So that is true. Then we're going to go to the other one. So step 2, just going to evaluate what is j divided by I. Okay, so what is j divided by I? So j divided by I is equal to 3 divided by 2. And actually in C++, this is actually an integer division because we have an integer divided by integer. So we're going to have an integer result. So what is 3 divided by 2? That means equal to what? 1 because the decimal part is going to be truncated, right? 3 divided by 2 is supposed to be actually 1.5, but since it's actually an integer division, we're going to actually consider only the whole part. So j divided by I is equal to 1. So it now means that j divided by I, which is greater than 6, is simply that 1 is greater than 6, right? And that is equal to, or that is false. That is false, right? That is false. So we're going to now put all these things into the expression. So that means we're going to replace I is not equal to 0 with true. So we're going to say I, which is not, sorry, I is not equal to 0 and j divided by I is greater than 6 is given by I is not equal to 0 is actually what is true, and this expression gives us what? False. So true and false is actually what? Is false. So that means the answer is going to be equal to what? False. That's the answer for the first one. So the B part, so we have that j what? J modulo I, right? J modulo I is equal to 0 or j modulo I is equal to 0 or Q and R. Okay, so what is j modulo I? So let us evaluate j modulo I. So j modulo I will be equal to, what is j? J is 3 modulo, what is I? I is what? 2. So what is actually dividing 3 by 2, and what's the remainder? So 3 divided by 2, the remainder is going to be equal to what? Is equal to 1. So that means we're saying that here is going to be j modulo I is equal to 0 is similar to saying 1 is equal to what? 0, which is going to be what? False, because 1 is indeed not equal to 0. So for the second parenthesis now, we're having that Q, as what? Q and arrow. So Q and arrow. So Q and arrow, what is Q? Q is actually giving us true, right? So true. And what is arrow? Arrow is false. So true and false is going to evaluate to false, right? So we're going to actually now replace that in the expression. So say we're saying, so the expression is similar to, so we're going to replace this by what? By false. So that is going to be what? False. Or what is Q and arrow? Q and arrow is what? False. So false or false. And false or false is indeed going to be equal to what? False. There is the answer for the second one. So for the third one, which is C, so for the C part, we have it as P and Q. P and Q, or not P and not Q. Okay, so what is P and Q? So P is actually, P and Q is similar to what? True, because P is true, and also Q is what? Q is true. So true and true is going to evaluate to true. Okay, so let's go for the second parenthesis. So in the second parenthesis, we have not P and not Q. So we're going to first of all evaluate the not. So not P is going to be equal to not true and not what? True. Okay. So now not true is going to be what? It's going to be false, because not true is false. Then we're also going to have that not true is also going to be what? It's also going to be false. So what is false and false? False and false is going to be equal to false. Okay. So we're not going to ever apply this into the main expression. So we're going to say, so the expression is simplified to, so P and Q is going to be what? True, right? So which is true, and then we'll have the or, and then we'll have false. So what is true or false? True or false is going to be equal to true. So the final answer is true. So the D part we have it as what? We have it as, let me go back to that question again. We have it as P or Q and not P and not Q. So it's just similar to the first one. So we have it as P, and so we just actually have to, the difference between the, so we have here as P or Q. Let me just copy this from here. Let me just, so that I will not mistake it. So let me copy from here. Let me just copy it out, okay? So that I can actually just paste it somewhere. So let me come here and paste it. Okay. So let me just delete this. Okay. So P or Q, which is this first one, is going to be equal to, what is P? P is true. Or what is Q? Q is also true. So true or true is going to be equal to true. Okay. Similarly, not P or not Q is going to be, not P or not Q is going to be equal to not true or not true. So not true is going to be equal to false, or also not true is going to be equal to false, and this is going to evaluate toward false. So therefore, so we're going to say, so the expression is simplified to, so we're going to have it as P or Q. So P or Q is going to be equal to true and not P or not Q is going to be equal to what? False. So therefore, true and false is going to be equal to what? It's going to be equal to false. So that is the answer. So let me also do for the last one. So let me just copy the value here. So let me just come here and copy it. And let me come here. Let me just paste it here. Okay, so we have P and Q or R. Okay. So what is P and Q or R? So P is equal to what? P is equal to true, right? P is equal to true. P is equal to true. Okay. And then what is Q and R? Q and R is equal to, Q is what? Q is true and arrow is false. Q is true and arrow is false. So we're going to have that Q or arrow is going to be equal to true or what? False. And true or false is going to be true. So therefore, we are going to say, so the expression is simplified. So the expression is simplified to P is equal to true, and then and Q or R is equal to true. So you're going to have that true and true is going to be equal to true. So that is that about the whole expression, and that is the result for all of them. If you like this video, do help me subscribe if you haven't. Also help me share this video to your fellow colleagues so that they can also get this information from this video. Without much further ado, do have a nice day, and thank you very much.